Chapter 3. Talking with your preschooler.
The first thing that you have to keep in mind when you're talking to preschoolers is that they're not going to be able to grasp the amount of information that you want to give them, and you really have to give it to them in small doses. And sometimes it means beginning that conversation and letting them digest what you're trying to say, but always leaving that communication channel open for them to come back and ask you questions, because they'll think about it. Preschoolers will think about it and then go away for a while and come back and say, you said when, this and this, and they'll have a question. So I think just to be mindful that they will only take little bits of information at a time.
For Carla, we just wanted to keep things really basic and at a level where she was comfortable with. And honestly, it was probably a continued reassurance for her. And I think she probably wasn't really exposed to the real bad days, if you know what I mean. So we tried to give her as much protection as possible, whereas with the oldest ones, they were probably more able to understand what was going on. But with Carla, there was a level of protection we tried to give her, because I just think that she probably would have struggled a lot more in being able to cope with what was going on.
For her, she'd say, "Where are the lungs?" And I'd say, "Well, they're in here." And see these bony bits, and we'd feel, and I'd get her to actually feel, they're the ribs. And I'd explain that the lungs are behind the ribs, and, the lungs are a little bit sick. And then I explained to her that's why I coughed up blood, because she saw that. Just for her to put some of those pieces together, I think, was really helpful for her to understand her body and to know that that's where things were coming from. So that really worked for her.
I think parents, when they talk with their children about cancer, should be aware that children will construct all sorts of fantasies and ideas. So magic is part of children's lives, but magic can also involve monsters and beasts and all sorts of stuff. So parents need to be supportive of helping their child be able to talk about the sort of things that are going on in their mind, and be also aware that if a child is anxious, it won't be expressed in words, it'll be in behaviours, often clingy, demanding, irritating, annoying behaviours.
She did say to me, we were on our way to swimming lessons one day, and from the back seat she says to me, "Mummy, I've decided I'm not going to grow a baby when I'm older." And I went, okay, why is that? Like, where's this come from out of nowhere? And she said, I just don't want to. And I could hear a catch in her voice. And she was a happy-go-lucky kid through all the treatment pretty much. And then, so I pulled the car out, we got to swimming lesson, and I went round the back of the car, and I just said to her, I said, "What's going on?" I said, "It's okay if you don't, but you tell me why. What's changed? What's different? Sometimes you have to press." And she said, "I just don't want to get breast cancer."
Remember, provide little bits of information at a time and invite questions. Preschoolers do not need lots of detail. Watch for anxious behaviour such as clinginess, making demands, acting younger than they are. Ask about their worries. Preschoolers need time to play, to work through their worries. Preschoolers need reassurance that it's not their fault.